I've already undone all the nuts around this case. I'm going to leave them in there and just pull it off. That way you don't get confused about where the screws go. So that's your clutch, obviously. I'm going to time these gears up here. There's 2 timing marks on them for the balance shaft. If you don't get them right, when you rebuild it, your engine will vibrate. I never actually tried that out of sync before. I've been told it does make your engine vibrate pretty bad. But anyway, I'm going to undo these 4 nuts for the clutch. I've already had this clutch off this morning, so all these screws are pretty loose, bolts are pretty loose. Well, just giving you a rough idea. When you take these springs off, you want to measure them and check them against the manual specs. So 37.65mm on that one. Obviously check it to the manual. If it's under, replace. Try and keep it organised so you don't miss anything when you go back. It really is easy to miss something. This should come free now. So just check it for damage. There's your adjustment. I think you screw that bolt down. Right, so this nut, usually that's folded up over it to keep it in place, but obviously I've already chiselled that down. To hold these in place, you're best to take all your plates out first. So you got a friction plate, then you got the metal plate in the middle. As you take them off, measure them as well. So make sure they've got enough friction material on them. So that's 3.02. I'm not sure what the wear limit is, but have a look in your book. And also you have to make sure they're perfectly flat. So stick them on a piece of glass and test at the sides with a feeler gauge. And if they're over the wear limit, again have a look at your manual, replace them. So the first one was a friction plate, then a metal plate, friction. They alternate all the way down. Last one's a friction plate, and then you got 2 light spacer washers. Make sure you put them in the right way around when you get them back, when you put them back in. Right, so to get this nut off, and it will be tight, I use this special tool. So it just holds your clutch in place, and then you can zip your nut off. Make sure you note that goes over there, because if you fit that the wrong way, it won't go back together. And that inner basket should come through. Then you've got a washer. Don't forget to put the washer back on. And that is it really. Clutch comes off. So basically all you have to do is measure your springs, measure your plates, make sure they're all in good order. You will need a new gasket, and the timing, I think that's about all you have to worry about. No, I'll stick it back together. Don't forget your washer. and don't forget to time it up. Okay, I made a bit of a mistake on the last video I done on building these clutches. Someone pointed it out to me. I've looked in the manual and it's correct. So I'm going to try and do it properly this time. But if I get anything wrong, just tell me and I'll put a note in the description. So read the description and check your own manual. Don't trust anybody. So basically, you've got two springs. This is a thicker one. You've got to put the edge pointing up. The thinner one has got a concave on the concave. It's sort of like goes like that. That one, the concave points towards the top. They're in there to stop judder. This is a friction plate, but it's been cut out, and then obviously it fits in just perfect with them, with the spring seats. Now when you're putting your clutch on and off, this friction plate will not bind because them spring seats will stop it, and that's supposed to stop judder. Don't exactly understand that fully yet, but that's what they're there for. Then obviously you put one of these plates in, a metal plate, and then if you look here, there's some lighter coloured ones and one darker. So you put one of these lighter ones in first, then a metal drive one, another one of these lighter coloured ones, I always try to fit them with the numbers at the top for some reason. A lighter one of the metal ones, and then lastly this one goes in place, the darker coloured one. So as soon as I see the numbers I'll put it on. So that's it as far as I can see from the manual, and that's how you do it. So and obviously when you do these up, you torque them down to the right specs. But I ain't got a torque wrench, so I can't do it. So that's it really. What we got to worry about is measuring the plates, measuring the springs, make sure it's timed, new gasket, and that's about it. Quite an easy job. I forgot to mention on the last video, you got to check for wear on these sides as well, both sides. These are where the friction plates and that wear against. If these get too indented, then they'll start to function improperly. Same on the inside of this inner basket piece. Just check it. These ones ain't too bad, but there is indentations there, so it's starting to wear. But you'll know when they're really bad, so I've seen them a lot worse than that. So these ain't bad.